That's the support as a channel member, Nick Collard. What do you mean I'm not very good at doing adverts? It's not even my job. I'm here to manage the football team. You've got a lookalike in. And you've given him one of my sexy shirts? I'm not happy about this at all. Roll the video. Boys and girls, I just want to take a moment to thank this episode's sponsor, Super Club Soccer. Now, as I'm sure you know by now, Super Club Soccer is a free-to-play, turn-based football game available on Steam. And did I mention it's free to play? That means it doesn't cost you anything to download it. And you can find a link to it down in the description below. Each player in a team can be individually controlled by different players, so loads of multiplayer possibilities with your mates. You can create your own character, play in any position. You can train your player in an array of attributes to tailor your build and suit your own play style. And then you can team up with those friends to take people on from all over the world. You can create your own team, play in leagues, play in cups. There's all sorts of stuff you can get up to in this, did I mention, free-to-play game. The link to download is at the top of the description. I urge you to go download it, check it out. It's risk-free. It's not going to cost you anything to do, and it does massively help support the channel and support a really cool indie-developed football game. And we should be trying to support that kind of thing and trying to support old Kev. Surely? Link in the description. On with the video. Hello and welcome to part 166 of Homegrown. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have an important game against Manchester United in the Premier League, and we also have the second leg of the Champions League knockout round. First round tie. I always do that in a very odd order against AC Milan. We're probably going to put some of the youngsters out against Milan after our 4-0 win in the first leg as well. But no youngsters against Manchester United, because as you can see from the league table, this is crucial. We're now 7 points clear of Manchester City with 10 games to go. We're 9 points ahead of United, but they have that game in hand. But obviously, if we can beat them, then that puts them well back as well. And we'd have to be feeling pretty confident at that point about winning the Premier League for the second year in a row, and can start to really, really focus on a first ever and series ending Champions League win. So this is the team for the game against Manchester United. I said no youngsters, but there's a couple that are forced upon us. Park is still injured. Erkan is still injured. Elias is still suspended. So Hannah and Figueira are both going to be involved. In Figueira news, actually, does anyone remember Sydney? He's not even in the first team squad anymore. I forgot about him to that extent. But he's fallen so down the pecking order on the right-hand side of midfield. He's our 10th choice right winger at 22 years old. He doesn't have much of his potential left anymore. And we just received a £35 million offer for him. So fingers crossed we can move him on for big money. He was on loan at Valencia for the first half of this season, only played one substitute appearance for them. I don't think Sydney's going to make it. But if we can get £35 million for him, that'd be nice. That would go down very well. So this is the team for the Manchester United game. We're going with Perez in goal, back for Primus, Hannah, Abagai and Vinicius Antonio, McKenna and Kleber in midfield, Ian and Figueira out wide, and then Juan Jose and Veloso up front as Veloso continues his charge towards just setting more and more records for us. He's already the all-time record goal scorer. He's already got the records for most goals in a league game this season. He's trying to get the records for most goals in a league season and most goals overall in a season. That's some lovely defending by Hannah, who was left in the lurch a little bit by Kleber there and just slides in. Very solid tackle. We've got a good defender on our hands there in the shape of Simon Hannah. I'd like to think Sir Harrison Davies has taken him under his wing behind the scenes, and that's why he's progressing as well as he is, although we have already got a goal down. So much for that progress, eh? Let's try not to blame Simon Hannah for it after I was praising him. I don't think it was his fault. I think United have just played very well here. They've just knocked the ball around us. And yeah, there's sometimes the opposition just do something so good that there's not much you can do about it. So if it ends like this, United are only going to be 6 points behind us with a game in hand, which is scary territory. We need at least to be able to pull a draw out of this game, I think. A draw, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable. If we do lose against them, I think we have a problem. But you know, we should be capable of picking up a win. Primus is injured. Pedro Guerrero can come on for him. That's a pretty easy substitution to make when we have a very good backup left back there ready to just come into the fray. But it's United who are hovering around on the edge of our area. Again, we've offered nothing attacking so far today, although Figueira has intercepted there and he's released Veloso, but he's very deep and very wide and dealt with very easily by the Manchester United defender. That was a little bit alarming how easily Sandro Veloso had the ball taken off him there. And United have now got a counter-attack underway, but it's this time it's Abagai in with the crunching tackle. And they've both got it in, and both of these boys at centre-back today can crunch when needed. But what we need is someone in midfield to do that. We've got McKenna and Kleber in there. Between the two of them, they should be able to muscle some control of this midfield, but we're just not managing it at the moment. And it's United who are in again, and it's going to go down as a pretty harshly judged own goal, I think, from Perez. There's nothing he can do about that. It's come back off the post, hit him in the back as he's gone to save the initial shot. But it doesn't change the fact that we're 2-0 down and haven't offered anything at all going forward so far. Manchester United still clearly a very, very good side. We've talked about them at length in recent seasons. There's always goals in our games with Manchester United. And it looks like today, certainly so far, they're going against us. Figueira loses control of the ball in midfield, but Ian picks it up again, and Juan Jose has dropped in there where we need him to be dropping in to try and give us an extra man in that central midfield. And it looks like Juan Jose has noticed and has gone back in there. Cross from Ian, and Figueira is in, and that's a very important goal back. Just on the stroke of half-time, it's 2-1. Figueira doing his very best Park impression at that far post. I mean, as much as I love Park, I don't think we necessarily notice he's not in the team because Figueira is so good when he comes in. Well worth the £55 million we spent on him. He's not going to go down as a Yordi-style flop. He's a Juan Jose-style hero, a Primus-style hero. Some of these big transfers are actually starting to come off. And Figueira playing it forward, looking for Veloso again. I mean, if we could grab an equaliser before half-time, it's going to knock the stuffing out of Manchester United. Admittedly, if they score again, it will knock the stuffing out of us. 2-1 at half-time seems more than fair. It's quite favourable in our direction, the way the shape of that first half has gone. But we now have 45 minutes to try and grab an equaliser. A draw will be fine. I'll be absolutely fine with a draw today. I am wary of going attacking because we've gone attacking here at Manchester United many times before, and it always leads to them just absolutely ruining us with counter-attacks. So I'm wary of doing it any time. I mean, we might do it with 20 minutes to go and combine it with a substitution or two. Hannah's done very well again there. Lovely defending from Hannah. Plays Veloso in, and once again, I have to question, does a 100% happy at the club Veloso tuck that away? He's still scoring a lot of goals despite his unhappiness, but I don't know. It might just be psychological, but I don't remember him missing as often as he does now before he got his grumpy on. Right, Juan Jose is going to come off for Jovanovic. Kleber's going to come off for Much. And we're going to put McKenna into the box-to-box midfielder, and we're going to go attacking. That's the extra midfield meat that we wanted to be able to go to a more attacking system. And we're going to demand more, and hopefully we've got an equaliser in us somewhere. There are more and more players starting to get tired as well. McKenna, Ian, Figueira. Who have we got on the bench? Oh, we can't make another change because Primus came off in the first. I wanted to bring Marcelo on. I probably should have remembered we made the first half change. Come on, boys. Have we got an equaliser in us? Somebody do something. I think we've quietened them down in this second half, and an equaliser wouldn't be that against the run of play, but there was just no, as soon as we went attacking, no more highlights. Not ideal. We are still in pole position for the title. And remember, the Premier League is our second priority this season. Priority number one is very much winning the Champions League. But we are still in a strong position. Even if they win their game in hand, both of them have got games in hand now, actually, because obviously us playing that put us ahead of City. So both with games in hand, but even if they both win them, we've still got 3 and 4 points over both of them. So looking at our run-in, I guess we face Liverpool. Where are Tottenham? Are Tottenham any good these days? Not really. Arsenal, not really. So as long as we make it past Liverpool, I think we should be okay. I'm going to play the Arsenal game off camera. Remember, Slam Dunk not in charge of Arsenal anymore after his sacking. So we'll play the Arsenal game off camera, hopefully pick up a win, and then we'll be back for AC Milan where we definitely need to win and keep moving in the Champions League. There has been a lot of Premier League football played since our last match. That was when we lost to Manchester United. You can see the impact it's had on the league table already. But then Manchester United, where are they? Lost to Bristol City, which was a little bit of a surprise, while Man City were beating Stoke. Then United lost to Liverpool, while City were beating Tottenham. And then we beat Arsenal. And that, I think, brings us to where we are now with 8 games of the season remaining. We're on 73 points, 4 points clear of Manchester City. And despite them beating us, they then lost their next 2 games and we're now 9 points ahead of Manchester United again. So I think it's become a 2-horse race. Liverpool are the only big team left to play. The Premier League is looking good. So now it's all about the Champions League again. And this is the team for the second leg against Milan in the Champions League. I've not gone full reserves. But we are trying a few players out in a few positions who haven't played a lot of football for us recently. So Perez stays in goal. I think it would have been silly to bring Williams in with no reason. We know what Alex Williams can offer. He's one of our highest ever appearance makers and is 33 years old now. He's fine sitting on the bench. A back four of Guerrero, Hannah, Abagai and Kelly. So Kelly is the one who hasn't played a lot of football. He gets to come in and have a start. Guerrero would be in for Primus anyway because Primus picked up that injury. I can't even find him. Where's Primus? He's actually recovered from the injury now. Either way, I would have played Guerrero for this game, as I am. Diaz and Camacho in midfield. If you remember Javier Camacho, we brought him in to play as a striker. As far as I'm concerned, this boy's a central midfielder, and that's where we're going to force him to play. Every time he's played this year, it's been in central midfield, and this is his first start in anything other than the Carabao Cup. So it's a big night for him playing in central midfield. Madness on one wing, Figueira on the other, Juan Jose up front with Marcelo, who gets a start up front, fresh off of all those goals he scored for Monaco during his loan there earlier in the season. Diaz is captain for this game, despite never being a first-choice player in his entire home career so far. Enoch Abagai is just kind of looking around as if to say, "What's going on, boss? I was here at 18. I'm 27 now. I know I had 5 years away. But during those 5 years, I played 50 times for England and was a regular at Inter Milan. I'll be all right as captain." No? You want to give it to this young lad? Fair enough. I don't make the decisions around here. That's what auto-pick for things like that is for. Right. If Milan do start to get back into this game, we are going to need to make some changes because can you imagine the embarrassment if after doing so well in the first leg and having the Premier League close to wrapped up, we rest players for a big Champions League game in the season when we're trying to win the Champions League and it backfires. I would have considerable egg on my face. Marcelo's gone past his man here, though. Marcelo's in, and I thought he was thundering that into the top corner because we do potentially need a contingency plan if we don't win the Champions League and Sandro Veloso really forces his way out. I mean, we saw with Kovacic that it is possible for a player to really cause problems and force their way out of the door. Obviously, Park came back round and decided he wanted to stay after all, and Veloso could go that way too. And I hope he will go that way. But if we don't win the Champions League and we've got to be planning for next season and the season after, and, you know, we've got to assume every year at the moment that we're not definitely going to win the Champions League. So we've got to plan for the future. And in a future that might not have Veloso in, we need that goal scorer. Marcelo might be the man. Juan Jose has just reminded me that he scores goals now, though, with a lovely little finish to put us 1-0 up on the night, 5-0 up on aggregate. AC Milan now need to score 6 times to turn this tie around. I think we're probably safe at this point. It's a nice finish from Juan Jose as well. What I would like to see is big performances from Camacho, Madness, Marcelo. They're the ones that I'm really looking at as these are moments where they can prove themselves. Same with Mark Kelly at right back, but defenders will get more opportunities anyway. It's the attackers who get dropped if they don't impress me quickly enough. Sydney being the perfect example of that. His transfer has gone through. He's left the club to go to Tianjin for £35 million. And any one of these reserve attackers could go the same way if they don't start forcing their way into the team on a more regular basis, the way Ian did, the way Kleber did, Park, Figueira, these boys who forced their way in, they're much more likely to not be dumped off in their early 20s, the way Sydney was. Juan Jose with the flick on there, and Marcelo isn't really alert to it. He's not quite on the same wavelength with Juan Jose in the way we see from Veloso all of the time. But it is Milan coming down our left-hand side here. Hannah getting caught slightly out of position there, but he's come back, made a little bit of a recovery. Hannah starting to get a nice little run of football. I think moving Fazekas on has been the best thing we could have done for the development of Simon Hannah, because he is getting a lot more game time in big games as well. You saw him play against Manchester United. He's playing here against AC Milan. This is real crucial experience for Simon Hannah at centre-back for us as a potential long-term replacement for Elias as our sort of no-nonsense Harrison Davies style centre-back. And he is doing really rather well at it. Figueira plays it over the top for Marcelo. Surely this time he does grab his first goal for home this season. I think that's something like his 15th goal of the season all in after all of the goals he got for Monaco, but it's his first goal for us this year. It's a lovely ball for Figueira. He gets a little bit of luck because it's kind of straight at the goalkeeper, but I say it's luck. He's hit it so hard. You make your own luck. He's hit it so hard, it's ended up in the back of the net anyway. And Marcelo does have his first goal for home in about 2 years. Right, we're going to need to take Camacho off. He's picked up an injury. Kieran Hodgkinson's down on the bench. I'm not going to bring Kieran Hodgkinson on, but Jovanovic can come on to play in central midfield. Hodgkinson might come on in the second half. It would be nice for him to have his goodbye. We are in the process of trying to bring Nathan Curry back on a free transfer in the summer. Obviously, we did the same with Harrison Davies last year, and he's now already up to his Continental B licence. Harrison Davies is taking to coaching like a duck to water, but I'd like to do the same thing with Hodgkinson and Curry. And get that generation of boys within the club long term. We're going to bring Antonio on, and I think we do need to bring Kieran Hodgkinson on. We're going to bring him on for Juan Jose, I think, and get him up there, playing up front, the way he always should have done for all these years. Kieran Hodgkinson playing in the knockout round of the Champions League. He's playing there as a striker as well. It's a beautiful thing. Figueira with the corner. Hodgkinson's the one lurking around underneath it. It would be lovely for him to have one more moment. Kieran Hodgkinson's moments were supposed to be done by now. And this is probably the very last time you'll see Kieran Hodgkinson in a home shirt. I would absolutely love it if he could sign off with a goal. It would be perfect. Guerrero then playing it forward to Jovanovic, but he can't get a hold of the ball properly. I mean, there's probably an argument for putting Hodgkinson in midfield and Jovanovic up front. And I think if there was any chance of Milan getting into the game, that's probably what we'd do. But I think in the circumstances, we can leave Hodgkinson up there and hope he grabs a goal and hope we don't throw too much away. Milan have a goal back here. We've got to be slightly conscious of not losing the match on the night as well when it comes to morale and momentum and all these things that are so important in Football Manager. It's all well and good saying, well, we're definitely through to the quarterfinals now, and we effectively are. But we don't want to lose 3-2 at home in the Champions League going into those quarterfinals, because it looks bad, doesn't it? This is what bringing Hodgkinson on has done. It's always been the way with Football Manager. He's so much below the level of the other players that even though he's playing up front, he's lowering the average ability of the entire team and making everyone else play worse. Football Manager's a confusing game at times, and we're not even going to get a Hodgkinson moment either. 2-2 on the night. 6-2 on aggregate. Thank you, Kieran Hodgkinson. But there's your confirmation. We are through to the next round. Camacho's, I mean, that could potentially be him done at home. We've got a few clubs who are interested in him. He's still got 5-star potential, so he's all right for a while. But you get your opportunity and then you blow it with an injury. Don't get many more of those opportunities. Are we going to get the draw now? Does the draw come now? Or no, it's happening there. So we won't find out who we're playing in the next match until the next episode, but we will have probably both legs of the quarterfinal coming up in 2 days' time. Hopefully we're still well in the Premier League title race at that point as well. And let it be this year that we win the Champions League. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.